Hi there, Corey here from Johnston Media, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about your new subscribers to your email list who are visiting your e-com store, and the greeting that you have in place essentially for them. It's called a welcome flow in the email marketing space, but a lot of e-commerce owners, store owners that I speak with, they don't really have a system in place for this, and quite honestly, they're just not really greeting new subscribers with the warm type of welcome that you would expect. So let's get into it in a little bit. Let's get into some information about why you should be sending one, and the kind of benefits that your brand will get by sending one. So you have to realize that the first few emails your subscribers receive after joining your email list are some of the most important in your customer's journey. So obviously they've never heard from you before. Maybe they've looked over your website, but they wanted to sign up for some kind of offer that you're offering, maybe a giveaway, obviously various different things you could offer there. But they've not heard from you specifically other than just visiting your site for the most part. So obviously this is your first chance to show that you can deliver what was promised, whether that, as I say, being a discount or a free PDF or whatever it is that you offer. And this ultimately gives confidence that you'll be able to deliver the product that you promise, right? That all of your reviews are raving about, that all of your copy is gearing towards, is that you can deliver this product that you promise. And obviously the first few emails that you send are kind of they're kind of another way for someone to hear from you and to ensure that you can do what you promise. So from our experience, at least, running Johnston Media, obviously we do email for our e-com clients. From our experience, the welcome flow is a top 3, or to be honest, even a top revenue producing flow for e-commerce brands. So obviously, let's say you had 12 core flows set up, the welcome flow typically will be in the top 3 or potentially the top in terms of revenue producing. It does get very high open rates and very high click rates as well, especially compared to other marketing methods. We'll get into that in a second, but ultimately you'll just convert lots of visitors into sales using a good welcome flow. Now, obviously, maybe at the moment, as I say, you have an embed form at the bottom to get some type of, so maybe you have a 10% off discount or something like that. A lot of brands that I know, that I review and whatnot and have worked with, they don't even have an incentive, to be honest. It'd just be some generic sort of, sign up to our newsletter, which is just the standard generic one that you get with a new website. So they don't even have an incentive in place or anything. No one's going to really sign up for this, and then they're not even going to get a welcome flow most likely from that, if they don't even have an incentive, So for new subscribers, you can expect these types of metrics. So this is one of our clients that we do email for, and this was just welcome email 1. So typically, there'll be 3 or 4 emails in the welcome flow itself, but the first email does generally do the best in terms of revenue, and this is kind of the opposite when it comes to post-purchase flows, in the sense that you can do better with more emails. But yeah, for the welcome flow, typically the most revenue producing emails are the first couple, if not the first one. So as you see here, this was a 10% off discount. So it was just 10% off their first order for subscribing, basically. And as you see, like typically for this type of email, we'll get 40 to 50% open rates. This is kind of just a generic standard. It has increased since here, but this is just kind of an all-time thing over the last couple of months. But obviously for this one itself was getting 40% open rate. So 40% of all of the new subscribers that were visiting, that were signing up to the list, were opening this email. Okay, so already that's hugely powerful compared to anything like ads, where you get, obviously it's not so much open rates, but with the click rate side of things, getting a 9% click rate, 8.9%, it's not really done with ads. You're getting 3%, 2% for the most part. And don't get me wrong, a lot of emails do get around 2 to 3%, but the welcome email itself, the first one, should be getting, higher than that, at least 5 or 6, but obviously in this case it can be 9 or even 10 plus, right? So obviously that's 8% or 8.9% of all of the recipients of this email that clicked on it, right? And this is to get that 10% off. So this is a big deal and should be being utilized. Obviously in this case brought in 18,000 in revenue, and we're sent to 5,000 people. So obviously if you're getting lots and lots of subscribers, obviously your welcome flow will be producing much more as well. So what should your welcome flow include? Now ultimately it should contain the promise that was offered in the beginning. Okay, and as I mentioned before, this is to show that you can fulfill a promise. You'll likely deliver on the product as well. You're not just going to take their money and not deliver it. Not that you would anyway, of course, but some people can be jaded, so it's best just to show that straight away. So obviously, ultimately, fulfilling the original promise from your opt-in should be the main priority. Also, letting them know what to expect. Now, this could be email frequency, it could be type of content. It does build curiosity for future emails. This should be the aim of the welcome flow. For example, let's say you're a brand who emails your list quite frequently. This is something you should let people know about. Maybe people are not expecting that type of thing and they're not going to want that. So obviously just set the frame from the beginning, and then if they want to unsubscribe, that's fine. This is something you could address when you do sort of analytics and stuff. If you're getting a high unsubscribe rate, maybe you should email people less. Okay. And then ultimately the type of content as well. So if you send maybe lots of tips and advice, let people know. Maybe you're a skincare brand and you deliver lots of skincare tips and acne advice on how to reduce acne, how to maybe reduce wrinkles, all this type of stuff. Like, what type of content are people going to see? Bestsellers, helpful insights and things like that, or whether it's new collections, new products, right? New collections, as I say. It should ultimately as well convey personality or beliefs and methodology. So if your brand has a strong personality, and to be honest, if it's doing well, it probably will have quite a kind of a personality in terms of the copy and whatnot. Like, obviously you have a unique audience you're talking to, so it should have a personality to it and not just be generic. And ultimately just convey, the personality of the brand and the beliefs. So if you maybe you're quite polarizing, and maybe you're a skincare brand who's sells products that are really, say, sustainable, right, or really eco-friendly, for example, then this would be your chance to let people know about this, and that that's what you stand for, and that's the type of thing that you talk about, right? That's the belief of the brand, is that you believe in, say, sustainable products rather than just generic, non-sustainable products. This would be a chance also to show, say, your best sellers, so your best-selling products, your hero products. Obviously, maybe if you only have one product in your store, then this would be a chance to talk about that as well. But chances are you sell multiple products, and as I say, this is your chance to talk about lots of bestsellers that you have, and to show new visitors, flaunt your success, right? Flaunt your successes, like the best-selling products. These are the most likely to convert. So show this straight away to new visitors. Don't let them have to go and find it. Okay. It's also your chance to show UGC, so user-generated content. So for the brands that we work with, we always see that they're doing much better, and they generally just convert much higher click rates, placed order rates, and generally just make much more revenue when they utilize UGC from past customers. And this would be something that you gather in some of the flows. So like the thank you flow, for example, so you're gathering reviews and images from past customers who have used your product, and this really adds a lot of social proof. Biggest concern people have when they see your store is they don't know if they can trust it. Okay, they don't ultimately trust your brand. Yep. So showing them other people using the product is a really good way to build that trust, as well as reviews, influencer collabs, etc. Just adds a lot of social proof. And also a greeting from the founder as well. So this is your chance to have a message from the founder, and maybe a little image of them as well, and just to show people that this is the owner of the brand, just to get to know them a little bit and who they are and what they stand for, and people are aware. Okay, so it's not just a faceless brand. Now, key things to remember with the welcome flow is offer something good. Okay, it's worth it. I mean, you don't need to offer a discount or an incentive, or well, you do need an incentive really, but you don't need to offer anything crazy. It's just that you are going to get much higher conversions if you offer something good. Okay, if you offer a 20% discount, you will gather more sales from that. And depending on your margins, maybe that doesn't make sense to do that. Okay, if you only sell one product, maybe it doesn't make sense to do that. But getting a customer to become, getting a visitor to become a customer is very important for gathering more sales from them, because obviously past customers are easier to sell to than new customers. So get them to become a customer as soon as possible by offering some in discount, and then the chances of you getting more sales from them is much higher. Use time constraints to go for the sale quickly, as I say. So don't just offer an unlimited time on the discount, right? Let it be a couple days or a day even, right? If you have a couple emails on the flow, maybe you'd like it to last, 2 or 3 days, and then you can have a final one where they extend it for a day, and just try things out and see how it works. But people ultimately won't act unless you give them a time restraint. So remember that. Very few visitors are seeing the form on the bottom of your site, so use a pop-up form to get new leads. As I say, unless people scroll all the way down to the bottom, they're not seeing that lead capture form. Okay, so make sure to include that. And you want to get that first sale as quickly as possible from a new subscriber so they can experience the process of buying from you. They now trust you, okay, as I sort of talked about already. Now, special considerations. Now, if you have issues with email deliverability or a high churn rate of your email subscribers, consider these options to include in your welcome flow as well. So maybe you're getting a lot of, say, churn, or you're having like a lot of emails bouncing or things like that, or you're just getting a lot of unsubscribes. There's some things that you can do to help out with that. So in your welcome flow, you should tell people who should unsubscribe from the get-go. As I mentioned earlier, like, it should be quite polarizing, because ultimately if people don't want to hear from you as much as you want to email them, then they're going to unsubscribe eventually. So tell them to unsubscribe if they are not happy with the kind of the policies that you've laid out, and ultimately you'll have a healthier email deliverability because of it, even if you lose some subscribers. Ask people to whitelist you or filter you if maybe you have a bit of a poor domain health, and maybe you've spammed your list in the past and you have a bad deliverability. So in your welcome series, you should let people know to add you to their whitelist, or to remove you from spam, potentially as well, if you're going to spam quite often. You can also try asking them to reply to the email as well. So this gets a lot of engagement and does increase deliverability if you just ask people to reply to your email and say hi. And you could also try using a different sending address, such as a personal address, i.e. james@ourstore.com instead of info@ourstore.com. People generally respond better to names than they do to sort of just like, sales@ourstore.com or something along those lines. It just looks a bit more personal. So what happens when your store gets a new email subscriber? Are they greeted with a warm welcome, or are they ignored? Right? Hopefully the first case is true, but if not, you're leaving a lot of revenue on the table for sure. And I do suggest that you get this sorted. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe below. And if you have an e-commerce store, you'll probably be wanting to subscribe and hear more of what we do at Johnston Media. So stick around, and if you want help with your email marketing, don't forget to use the link below to book a call with me and discuss this further. So yeah, that is me, and yeah, hope you have a really good day, and yeah, see you soon.